Let's get to Michael in Palm Beach, Florida. Michael, you're live.
John, love the passion. Thanks for all your hard work. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a leverage job. I mean, Lynn is positioning. He has the power right now with the people behind it. And if they give that up, saying go out and support the senators, then they're going to lose that leverage. I think he needs to hold the line. That's the point. So as far as we got two things here, we got the legislators and the Supreme Court. I think what Sydney and everybody needs to do, they need to validate the votes and position it that, listen, if the Supreme Court's going to flip it, they need to show they got the power and the votes behind it. And I'm not really seeing that, at least in Rudy's presentation last night in Michigan. They need to validate the fraudulent votes and say this is why you can't validate it or certify it. So what are your thoughts on that as far as the leverage standpoint from Lynn? I mean, I think that's the where we are right now. We got 30 days or so till the election. That's one day. We got 28 or so ahead of it.
I think what Lynn and Sydney were saying yesterday is you have the power to force action in Georgia. They were specifically talking about Georgia. Of course, Sidney Powell filed a big suit in Arizona, but I think what they were saying that everybody missed, they were not saying don't vote. Everybody knows how important these two Senate seats are. We're not stupid, okay? We know if you elect these Democrats, the country's gone. But they had two messages yesterday. Number one, if you do the same thing, you're going to lose. And that's what I believe. If the election were held today, they both get trounced. That's what I'm telling you. Because Stacey Abrams, just mailed out another 1 million ballots. They're all going to get harvested. They're all coming back. They're all going to get fed through machines. They're all going to come in at 2 a.m. in the morning. They're going to do it again. And until you fix this, you're going to lose. Second of all, the deplorables don't want to be taken for granted. And they want action. And they see their governor do nothing, hide in the basement, Kemp do nothing. They see Cosmo Man, Jeff Duncan, lieutenant governor, loves to run on CNN with his $5,000 or Monty suit and his hair coiffed perfectly, runs to CNN. They see Brad Raffensperger screwing them, and they're like, okay, we're done. We want action. That's what's happening, Michael. But thank you, Michael in Palm Beach. Thank you for weighing in. Spread the word. Jeff in Chesterfield. Jeff, line 2, you're live, sir.
Hey, good morning, John. Thank you for what you're doing. I've been meaning to call after hearing your interview with the panel from the gentleman from Dalton the other day. Frankly, it was depressing to hear the inaction, but I really wanted to chime in on the Lynn Wood thing. I couldn't agree with you more. It is a hit piece. I mean, people seem to forget the president actually donated to Democrats in the past before he became the president. I mean,
thank you.
That doesn't make any sense at all, what they're trying to do. And frankly, Breitbart is going the way of Drudge. I've been listening to them, watching them for some time. They're not fighting the same battle that you are right now with your group of stations and your activity. I think they're just looking for clicks on a website that could care less about anything else.
Yep.
And just wanted to thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Jeff, and I couldn't agree with you more. Trump was a Democrat. I voted for Democrats. Does that make me evil, like you can't tune me in? I mean, the whole objective of the Trump movement and the new coalition is to bring in Democrats. That's the whole object of it. That's why he won in 2016. That's why he won these swing states. That's why he won Florida again. That's why he won Pennsylvania if you throw the fraudulent votes out in a landslide. These are Democrats voting for him. So to say you donated for Democrats, I mean, Vernon Jones is part of the campaign team in Atlanta for Trump. Vernon Jones will be with us at 8. Vernon Jones is going to the hearing today. He is an elected Democrat official in Georgia. He is serving as a Democrat. I mean, what? So what, you're going to now throw him out too? Moronic. Absolutely moronic. It's tone deaf, Jeff. Tone deaf. Tone deaf. I got an email from a listener yesterday that was actually absolutely beside themselves when, I guess it was Senator Thompson from Dalton. Or where were we yesterday? I forget. Quickly, Cartersville, who said, I got 14,000 emails. I got 14,000 emails. I'm inundated, and the person was like, "So I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you're getting feedback from your constituents? Like, what is wrong with these people?" This is all getting exposed now, folks. All of it. People are not going to put up with inaction the way they did in the Mitt Romney, McCain, George Bush days. They're done with endless wars. They're done with shipping our jobs to China. They're done with low wages. They're done with Wall Street. They're done with the establishment. They're just done with it. And Breitbart is now part of it. And it's a shame, but it is what it is. Okay, Jeff, thank you. Let's get to Dave in Woodstock, Georgia. Dave, I was in your neck of the woods yesterday. Good to have you with us, sir.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to see you in Jasper. I actually have a shop in Jasper.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm going to try to meet you there. I want to talk to you about possibly starting a radio show with you.
Well, Dave, I tell you what, we're always looking for people. I'll be in Jasper on Monday. The Purdue's going there. I'm going to that rally. It's at Appalachian Gun Store at 1 o'clock. Have you heard of that, Appalachian Gun Store?
I sighted in my deer rifle there about a month ago. It's an excellent place.
Appalachian Gun Store.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to mention. We start having 1 million Patriot open carry rallies. They're going to have to do something. And I'll tell you what we need to focus on is what Sidney Powell said yesterday. Every vote needs to have a paper ballot, a signature, an ID, and a thumbprint.
Yep.
And right now, Senate and United States House of Representatives is in session in Washington. And they are not coming back until after the election. So what we really ought to do is encourage Trump to say, we're going to start having 1 million Patriot open carry rallies unless we pass a law right now that every election, including the Senate race in Georgia, has what Sidney Powell says needs to be. And if that happens and he signs that, then we don't have to have 1 million Patriot open carry rallies.
Dave, you nailed it. I mean, in a minute and a half and 90 seconds, Dave, you absolutely nailed this whole thing. That's spot on. That's spot on.
Thanks.
Because if
I appreciate what you're doing, and I look forward to meeting you.
Thank you, Dave. I'll see you Monday in Jasper at Appalachian Gun and Point at 1 o'clock for the Purdue rally. I'm going to be covering that live. But Dave, you nailed it. I mean, what you just said is it. All the people of Georgia want is a fair vote, and they know it's going to get stolen from them again. So if you sit there and do nothing, you go down the same path, the same thing happens, and you're taken for granted. That's the issue. Okay, this text here from Leslie in Virginia Beach. He says, our do-nothing Republicans are hurting us just as much as the Democrats. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. John Fredericks Radio Network. Let's get to Christine in Washington, D.C. Christine, you're live.
Hi, it's Christine in Georgia, too. Hi, John, it's Christine. I'd like to dovetail a little bit on what, was it Dave just was on? And he said we need to show up, and not just at rallies. Where people need to show up is we need, as Sydney said, a fingerprint, all the stuff on the ballot. We also need our eyes on those ballots. And everybody needs to go into, we push this, before the election, but we need more. We need 50 people at every polling location. And if they want you to stand outside, because you need to be there when the trucks pull up with the ballots. And we need to challenge them. I mean, there's a procedure. Everybody needs to go to their party, go and watch those ballots. And we need to stop them, from being counted. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a legal procedure to challenge them. Watch the counting, right?
Yep.
Gotta watch the counting. That's another way for us to weaponize our vote. We need to be engaged. We need to be a part of the process, but we need to fight the battle they're fighting. We need to do what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And that is what they're doing. Democrats are out there right now in Georgia.
Well,
and they're on the ground, and they're.
If you listen to the callers, if you listen to the people, the 1,500 people who showed up at that rally in Alpharetta, if you listen, Chris, what they're saying is they've had enough of inaction. They want action, and until you give them action, they're done. And so that
right.
You can do all the hit pieces. Breitbart can get hit pieces from McConnell's office and put it out there all they want. All it does is piss them off more, right? Because that's exactly what they've been fighting, right? They're taken for granted, and there's this feeling that's permeating now that it's all about January 5th. Forget Trump. He lost. That we're all done with that. It was an experiment, and he was your guy, and he lost, and we're done with that. Now we're going to go back to the way it always was. We're going to go back to Wall Street.
Right.
We're going to go back to Goldman Sachs. We're going to hobnob there. We're going to eat caviar. We're going to fly on private jets. We're going to get all the money we need. We're going to go back to making deals with China. We're going to make all the consultants like Carlyle Company happy. They're going to give us money. We're going to go back to talking about cutting capital gains tax. I mean, that's really what we want to do. That's our comfort zone.
John,
this whole Trump thing.
John, your
forget
show.
it.
Yeah. John, your show yesterday, about an hour and a half, I think I'm going to save that to be a textbook classic example of when the change and what the change is. Because you're right. You had the caller yesterday called and it had the best line. She said, we don't want to hear what you're doing in January. We don't want to hear what you're going to do next year. We want to know what you're doing right now. And they were clear. We're all like that. What are you doing now? For us, for your voters. And it was just a great, you're out here on the line. They're all in the Beltway. They all understand how things have always run, and they're hiding behind process and procedure. We go in, we do this, we go in, and no, we're like, no, we're not going to stand for the process anymore. We're not standing for the procedure. Nope, not going to do it. We're going to do it with our votes.